Hi there, my name is Krislyn Mattei, and I'm a Creative Memories Advisor as well as a content creator for the Creative Memories Home Office. A while ago, I created this layout for the CM blog using the Silver and Gold collection and the gorgeous Damask Flourish frame punch. One of my favorite things about designing layouts with a new technique is seeing how versatile it is, how well it can be adapted to work with different tools in different collections. So today I'd like to show you this frame punch technique on a new layout. I'm going to be using the On the Farm collection and the Dollop Arch frame punch. To me, the Dollop Arch has a country vibe, and so I think it's going to work really well with this farm collection. So to create this layout, we are going to need the On the Farm papers, stickers, and layered borders, some white cardstock, the Dollop Arch frame punch, the 12-inch trimmer, the custom cutting system with the large circle pattern and red and green blades, scissors, tape runner and repositionable tape runner, and foam squares. So let's get started. Okay, to begin with, we're going to want to figure out what our base paper is for the layout. And I really like this chicken wire. It's subtle enough that it will provide a really nice base, and I can even journal on it if I need to. And then we have to just pick out some other colors that we like to create the punch embellishment. And so I've used, on the Silver and Gold collection, I've used 3 colors. And so I'm going to choose 3 colors to do this. And I want it nice and bright, so I'm going to use the green and the gold, floral, and the beautiful red checkered paper. Okay, and then I'm going to use the brown, the barn wood paper as a 4th color to add in there to create some of the mats for the layout. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to punch our border and get those pieces ready. So let's talk first just a little bit about frame punches. Okay, this is the Dollop Arch frame punch, and what I love about frame punches is their versatility. So you're going to know that it's a frame punch because it has 2 silver lines on the arms of the punch. And what this means is this punch will punch a frame around a piece of paper. So if I took a 12-inch piece of paper and I punched all around it, lining it up on a silver line, I would get a piece that looks like this. Okay, and you can make these multiple sizes. So this was a 12 by 12 inch paper, and once it's punched out, it would make just a really great decorative piece on your layout. You can also do this with smaller pieces, 4 by 4, 4 by 6. As long as it's an even number, it's going to work out. Okay, so 8 by 8, 8 by 10, you get it. You'll get different sized squares or rectangles to play with. But this also works just like our other border punches in that it punches borders. So if you line up your paper along one of those little black lines on the body of the punch, you are going to be able to punch a standard border like you would with the Border Maker or with any other border punch. It'll punch the whole length of a strip, whatever size strip you want. Okay, so it's really fun to be able to combine the best features of the frame punch and do even more with it, and that's what we're doing today. So I'm going to take my papers and we're going to start cutting them the way we need to. Now, if you need directions and specific measurements, make sure you go to the Creative Memories blog and look up this layout. It is one of the Silver and Gold layouts, and it is just all the instructions and measurements will be found there. And we're using pretty much the same measurements, just a different punch and different papers. So the first thing we want to do is we want to cut a 6 by 6 square. And I'm going to do that with the red paper. And these will be the pieces that are going to go on the sides like this. So we'll cut this out. And then we're going to use our frame punch. So we'll unlock it. And we're going to line up the paper on one of the silver lines. I'm choosing the one as it's facing me. I'm choosing the one on the right. And we're just going to line it up all the way to the back, add a silver line, and we'll punch. And then we're just going to do the corner. So we want to rotate it around to this silver line and punch again. And you'll have little squares that fall out like that. So now we have one corner punched. Let's go around and complete the other corners. So we're going to go back over here to this side. Punch, rotate to this side, punch, and now we have half of it done, and we'll just continue. Okay, isn't that cute? And doesn't this look country to you? I think it just screams country page. I just love it. So with this one, we are just going to cut this in half. So just right down the center. And just line it up on these little dotted lines here on your 12-inch trimmer. And cut it apart. So this one is all ready to go on our layout. Now we want to cut and punch the pieces that are in the center as well as the ones up on the top. So the next paper I'm going to choose is my yellow, and we need a 2-inch strip. And then we'll cut it in half at 6 inches. And then we're going to cut another one at 2 inches. And we'll cut that in half at 6 inches. So we're going to use these three to complete the border on the bottom. And to punch these, the easiest way to get it just lined up the way we want it is to just flip our punch over and just thread the short end of our paper into the very back of the punch, have it rest on the very back of the punch, and then punch. Okay, and we'll repeat that on the other end. And we've got one piece, and we're going to just repeat this with our other 2 pieces. All the way to the back. Punch, and the other side. Okay, so now we have all of our pieces that we're going to need for the bottom of the layout. Let's go ahead, as long as we're punching and cutting, let's go ahead and cut the rest of the pieces that we're going to need. So we've got green already. We are going to need another 2-inch piece of the gold and another 2-inch piece of the red. So I'm just taking my remaining 6-inch square and I'm just going to cut another piece off of that. Okay, so for this part, we are just going to punch. We only need one of this color in the middle, which for me is the green. So we'll just punch once. And these 2 will punch twice, so we get enough pieces. So we're just going to do the same thing. Flip it over so you can see what you're doing. Line it up in the center all the way to the back and punch once. And then with the red and gold, the two ones on the side, we're punching twice. So I'm going to punch both ends. Okay, that should be all we need with that. Okay, and then all of these pieces, we just need 1 3/4 inch pieces of them. So we're going to line up the very top of those little arches at the 1 3/4 line, which is actually the very last marking on this side of the 12-inch trimmer. It's 1 3/4 inches, and that's what we're going to cut. So I'll cut that one off, and I'll do the same with all of them. So they're the same size. Okay. Now let's start putting this layout together. So we're going to take our base piece, and I really like to do my layouts right on the 13-inch cutting mat because it really does kind of help to have the measurements all around you so you can get everything even. And I'm going to bring in my silicone piece here so that I can tape and not have to worry about getting tape runner all over everything. So we're going to first line this up. So what we've got the 2 red pieces on the outside, flanked by 2 yellows, and we're going to do the green in the center, okay? And we're going to do the same thing down at the bottom. So you're going to see how very easy this layout is to put together, but what a fun impact it makes. So this is how it's all going to go together. And then we're going to place a piece in the center here to place our photos. Okay, so I'm just going to start taping these together so we have this part done. And I'm going to start with the center. If I can get the center placed right in the middle, then I'm going to be in good shape for the rest of it. So I can place this, it's 2 inches, so I'll place it between a 7 and a 5. And now all the other pieces can just line up right next to it. Okay, got that done, and now let's go back and do the bottom, and again we're going to start with that center piece. And I'm going to go excuse me, right about a 1/4 inch up is where I'm going to start this. It really depends which punch you're using as to how much space you're going to have along the edges. And then we're just going to place the rest of them right next to it. Just kind of get it lined up, centered. I am loving this already. Okay, so how easy was that? We've got a really cool layout going, and we've done all of our decorative, or most of our decorative elements. Now let's put a big photo mat in the center. And so what I did here with this one is I chose that center color, And that became my piece that I put here, and it also became the mat for this round journal box piece. But with the one I'm doing today, I kind of want to add this brown in here, get a little bit of the barn influence. And so I'm going to use this one instead. And so what we need for this is, let me take a look at the measurements. We need a 10.5 by 4.25 inch piece. So I'm going to cut that at 4.25. And then really all you need to do is cut 1.5 inches off the end of it for it to be your 10.5. I actually, having done this another time, I really actually preferred this at 11 inches. There's plenty of space to give us just a little bit more room for our photos. So I'm only going to cut 1 inch off. You can do whatever works for you and for your photos. Okay, so now this piece is going to go right here, like this, and just center it there. And I think that that size works really well. Okay, so now we have that all set and it's ready for our photos. Now the way I did it before, these were 4-inch. This is a 4-inch photo in the center and 2 3 by 4 inch photos on the sides. I think this time I would go 4 inches and then 3.25 by 4 inch on the sides. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cut some paper from this sheet to put in place, just so that you can see where the photos are supposed to go. So just pretend these are your photos. And we are going to cut a 4-inch for the center and then 2 3.25 inch photos for the sides. And I just get to see what that's going to look like after all. Again, I'm going to line this one up kind of in the center. And then these will go on either side. And they're just placeholders until I get the photos I want to put in there. Okay, so our layout is coming together. Now we want to finish up the rest of it. So you'll see on this piece, on this layout, I did have a border sticker that came across the bottom. And then I also had this embellishment here. This could either be a photo, or it could be a title embellishment, or it could be a journal box. If I've got a busy layout going on, I have to figure out where I'm going to put the journaling. So often I'll do something like this so that I definitely leave space for that. So what I decided is I wanted to use this brown some more, bring a little bit of that brown down here. So I'm going to cut let me get this back here. I'm going to cut a brown circle. And we are going to use the largest circle pattern. Whoops, I got the medium one there. We want the largest circle pattern, not the medium. And this one, we're going to use the red blade. And cut a circle. Now, alternatively, you could, before you put this piece on, you could actually cut this circle out of this piece. So if you want to conserve paper, that would be a really great way to do it, because you're going to be covering it with a photo anyway. So you could just take and save some paper and cut it out of that. I'm just going to cut it. Oops, that's what you don't want to do. This is what happens when you don't get both of your little pieces, hold your pieces in the groove. You're going to scratch your paper like that. So just give yourself an extra little second and make sure you've got both of those little things in the groove. Okay, so now I've got my mat, and then I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock. You could use ruled paper if you want, if you're going to use this as a journal box. That would be nice too. Or you could use a portion of one of the variety mats. That would be really cute too. Can't ever go wrong with white. I keep a lot of white cardstock on hand. Okay, so now I'm just going to tape this together so I'm all set to go with that piece. Bring our layout back, and now we have to figure out how we want to decorate this. So this is going to go right about here. But before I do that, I want to plan for what my piece is going to be. So on the first one, I used a border sticker. You could use any number of things. You could use the Barn and Fence Border Maker cartridge and put a cute little barnyard scene. That would be adorable. Love that. But I think what I want to use, because I just can't get enough of these, I want to use this really cool sunflower layered embellishment. It just adds so much fun, I think, to this layout, and it just pulls all those colors together. So that's what I'm going to put in the front here, and then this will go on top. What I did notice is that since these are layered, this one kind of sticks up here. So I'm just going to use my scissor to kind of cut this apart. So let me just see where I can cut it. I think I'm going to cut it right here. And then I will cut it, let's see, right here. Okay, so these sides will fill in right there, and then I've got a nice flat surface. But I don't want to let go of this cute little sunflower, so I'm just going to peel it off of the paper backing. And now I've got a little layered embellishment that I can use somewhere else on my layout. I think I just might want it right up here. So it kind of ties it all together. So we're just going to put a little tape on this. And this is going to really look sharp. And now we can place this right in the center. I'm going to tuck it under that sunflower a little bit. Isn't that fun? I love it. Okay, let me get a little tape on the back of my little piece here. And I'm actually going to add another little foam square just to make sure that stays put. And we'll just pop this guy up here. All right, and then what else do we want to do here? Let me pull the stickers in and take a look. They are so stinking cute. Look at these. Look at these little animals. I love the illustration style. It is so simple and childlike. It is so cute. So I don't want anything huge, but I think maybe looks like we've got some produce going here. I'm going to keep it kind of general. Put my little produce here. Pop this one up. And maybe let's add a chicken. Let's just add a chicken. Isn't it fun to be able to say that? Let's add a chicken. Okay, I'm going to pop this guy up too. Seems like when they're animals, I like that extra little dimension. I'll pop them up. They're almost like they're moving on your page. Oh, how fun. Okay, so we've got our cute little thing here. Now we just need one more little thing. I like to do, you know, we talk about clustering your stickers and embellishments and kind of having them go in a triangle pattern or thirds across your layout so that it really draws your eye across the page. So I really want to put one more thing over here, and then I think we're all set. So let me just think what I want to do there. Maybe since I got chicken over there, maybe I'll put a little chickie over on this side. And maybe he's got to have a friend. Gotta have a little buddy. How fun are these? Okay, so there's our layout, guys. Okay, so let's talk about how we might be able to make this a 2-page layout. So usually when I'm working and designing something for the home office, I'm making 1-page layouts. That's what they prefer for their marketing photo shoots. But when I'm scrapbooking for myself, I almost always make 2-page layouts, unless I'm doing a title page. And this actually would make a really great title page. So, I mean, it could be just fine on its own. But let's just imagine that we want to make a 2-page layout with this instead. How would we finish it up? I get asked that all the time. And so let's just go ahead and think about how that might look. So I'm kind of looking at some of the pieces of paper that I still have left. And I'm thinking that maybe if I wanted to, I would just bring these colors over to the other side. Okay, I have this piece. So if I were to put it together, I probably would go something like this. I want to bring a little bit of the white back over. And I think I want to use the Dollop Arch Punch again. So let me bring that back. And this time I'm just going to punch a border with this gingham. And this time then I'm going to line it up right on one of those little black lines on the front. And then just cover up the pattern on the face of the punch. And that gets it positioned just perfect. Okay. Okay, so now let's look at it. If we add this element, so we've got a little bit of the chicken wire on the side. And maybe I'll shorten this a little bit. So I'm going to take a couple of inches off of this. So that leaves me with a piece that is right about 3.5 inches wide. And this piece is 8 inches wide. This is 4. So then I can put this, line it kind of up right about here. And then let's take our green and let's cut some photo mats with this. So how about, I'm just going to do a bunch of 4x5s. Now you might find with your photos that it needs to look a little different than this, and that's what I love, is that it's totally customizable. I'm just choosing something really simple to give you an idea of how I might finish it. Okay, so now we've got all these nice little photo mats. So something like this would look really cute. And then I think all I need to do is add in this little embellishment. Maybe I'll move this over a little bit more, give myself a little more room. And then place this right here. Then you're getting the brown, you're tying things in from the other side. You could, instead of having one of these be a photo, you could maybe choose one of the mats from the Variety Mat Pack and place something like that in here instead. There are so many cute ones to choose from that you really could just cut something down and place it, and it would be perfect. And then just fill in with photos for the rest of it. So that's just an idea. Let's think about the other border frame punches that we have. We have several right now. I think we have 5. And we have some that have retired, so you may have some of the older ones. This is the Damask Flourish. This is the one that we used for the original layout. And it's very elegant and really makes a statement. It would look really nice for any of your old-fashioned pictures, your formal events. It's just a really beautiful punch. There's the Cloud Frame Punch. That would look good on layouts of anything outdoors. If you wanted to recreate this using the Cloud Frame Punch, that would be really cute. And any collection that we have and any outdoor photos would be perfect. And then perhaps the Geometric Frame Punch would look really great with a back-to-school layout. Or how about the Spiderweb Border Punch and on a layout using the Happy Hauntings for Halloween? That would be really, really cute too. So I hope you get some ideas and enjoyed this layout today. If you liked it and want to see more like it, I really hope that you'll give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you get notified the next time that I post a video. You can also follow me on Facebook at Krislyn Mattei, Creative Memories Independent Advisor. There you'll find additional layout and border ideas, as well as updates on new products and upcoming events. Thanks so much for watching today.